All right. Well, I said I was going to make a fool of myself, so let's do it. Oh, okay. Welcome everybody to another edition of Feature Fragment, the podcast where we take a look at anything in pop culture and we break it down to the bits, bobs, and blemishes, and we talk about anything that is on our minds. Today, obviously, as you guys can see, we're in Final Fantasy XIV with the new expansion Dawntrail that just dropped. But before we get into all that, let's go around the table and introduce the co-hosts as we always do. And let's start with Kit.
Hello.
Uh,
If
and
I had a cam, I would do that pose with you so you wouldn't be alone.
yeah, I seen that with the Hanu Hanu. I was like, I gotta do that for the next podcast, even if it makes me look like an idiot.
You could have done that one, or you could have done was it the Lala Ho or Lolly Ho or whatever?
Oh, the thing is with how my webcam is, I wouldn't be able to get like the whole like
Oh, yeah.
motion in there.
You gotta shrink yourself down to a Lalafell.
Yeah, you really have to. But aside from Kit, we also have another co-host, Bek151, or I'm going to reference him, the cinnamon toast crunch monster up in the corner.
Hello.
And I did not choose his avatar; he chose it for me.
What, you said don't be offensive.
Yes, I said don't be offensive.
Can't
Uh,
have an angry cinnamon toast.
yes, we have a very angry cinnamon toast. But Beck, you're our guest of honor. Would you like to say hello, introduce yourself, all that stuff?
Uh, I mean, there's not really much to tell. I play games a lot. Um, yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Well,
I don't
see,
really have much else to say.
I mean, how long have you been playing Final Fantasy since this is the current topic?
there you go.
Just under a year.
Under a year.
Have you been playing other MMOs or just in general all sorts of games?
No, I play all kinds of stuff.
Gotcha.
So with you playing Final Fantasy a little bit longer than I have, what do you think of it, Beck?
I enjoy it more than I have with other ones. It's actually one of the few ones that has gotten me to use a subscription service because most of the time I've hated using subscription services.
And I will 100% agree with
I
that.
feel that.
Kit, how long have you been playing 14?
Since pretty much Stormblood. Um, Technically before that, but I quit when Arcade came out because I was like, at the time, the game was a lot different, a little more clunkier, a little unpolished, all that good stuff, a lot of things to the gear, and I was just like, no. So I went to Arcade, and then I came back during Stormblood, and then the rest is history. So
Okay.
a long time.
All right, and me and myself, I mean, I just picked it up in January or so, January, February, because I think my 6 month subscription is about to come up at the middle of the next month.
And how are you liking it so far?
So far I'm enjoying it. I mean, it certainly kept my interest a lot. I'm surprised it kept my interest, seeing as I'm not like the biggest Final Fantasy fan out there, but it's done pretty good keeping it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It has a lot of different entertainment value in different sections of the game for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, seeing as we are on about Final Fantasy 14, we kind of opened up with it a little bit. Let's start with Save for Dawntrail because it is so new. What expansion of the game have you most enjoyed?
We're doing Dawntrail.
Without Dawntrail.
Oh, without?
Yeah.
I actually liked a lot of Shadowbringer and Endwalker, only because I love like Emmett and all them, like the whole like story of how the Asians and all that stuff became and did what they did. So the first two expansions really didn't explain much besides that they were trying to, cause some problems. And then as we built up and learned about their characters and personalities, it was just kind of nice. So, Jawbringer and Walker, for sure. all of it, all the maps too, because I'm not picky. Like, all the maps are beautiful in that game. Right now, the dungeon you're playing is like, it's gorgeous. Even with the creepy mobs, like I love it.
You like going after the overcrazed polar bears that I'm fighting right now?
They can't help it. It's all due to the madness going on over there. I bet they'd been nice polar bears if they weren't infected by whatever happened.
What about you, Beck? Do you have a favorite expansion?
Shadowbringers, without even question.
Without a question. Why is that?
So it brought one of my favorite. I don't necessarily know if it's considered end game content, but the Boshin Southern Front.
Yeah.
I've spent so many hours in the Boshin Southern Front, compared to Eureka that was from Stormblood. Also, plus the music slaps in that entire place.
Yes. I can't wait for like their newer version or whatever mix that they're gonna try and do. That is a good one. I agree.
Also, the relic weapons are pretty nice.
Yes.
Oh god, I really don't know what I would claim as my favorite expansion so far. I mean, Heavensward was really good, and it has one of my favorite quotes out of context for me. I think is, "Oh, cool, let's go destroy the Catholic Church," because of fighting some of the bosses in there. I think it was that one. Yeah, it should have been that one.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, the vault was the one where you fought through all the knights and.
Yeah, that's the exact one I'm thinking of. I'd say the only part
Depressing.
what's up, Kit?
That's the Presso times with Karshafont.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing I don't like about it is Hashafront was kind of cool, but they really put a lot of you're going to like this character, and for me, he was like, oh, he's kind of an interesting character, and then when he dies, it's like, oh, he's dead. Cool, whatever.
It's kind of like Moon Brita. Before the changes, there was at least a little bit of quest detail explaining her and like running around and all stuff, and then they kind of like butchered a little bit to condense questing down in like the first expansion. But a lot of people, same thing when they went into like Endwalker, because there's a section of Moon Brita's parents and stuff that you meet, or whatever, and some people were kind of confused, like the interaction and why, and like why was she such a big deal? And it's because like things like that where it's like some of the game kind of got condensed down, or people missed maybe some lore detail from like the side quests or whatever if they didn't do all their side quests, stuff like that.
I personally like Moon. Like, I don't know why. I loved Moon Brita, but Hashafront was kind of like, whatever, in my mind.
He was
I,
cool. I liked him.
I guess it's more that we knew Moon Brita had a lot to do with what's his name, Astrologian guy.
Ariage?
What's up?
Ariage?
Yeah, Oriange. Sorry. And seeing like his emotional tie to what happened to Moon Brita kind of fell onto me as well.
No, I definitely sobbed like a baby. Especially
Okay.
when the parents forgave him.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, the expansions, they've been pretty good. I mean, it really does show that there is a lot of love that goes into the like differences of releases. Like you have a lot of you can tell that where the work went into in the expansion.
Well, and you can also tell, just like, as I said before, you can tell just each director too, which will, I guess, cross over at some point about dawntrail, but like the writers, different writers for each expansion and stuff like that, kind of like how Guild Wars 2 does it, in a way with the living story in short periods, but in bigger sections for Final Fantasy way.
I will note that with this latest expansion, Dawntrail, I have noticed a few things with it, and I know I messaged you about it earlier. Was some of the audio mixing and the mic qualities
I
definitely
think
seem different.
which I was gonna tell you, I think unfortunately, some of those voice actors, because it's the same thing with certain games I played recently, like newer games, with some of the same voice actors or other voice actors. Some of it I feel like was probably recorded like end of COVID, and then others on top of that, if they can't, like maybe the fly, because I know also Japan had a point where they locked outsiders out because of COVID, and they didn't open that up until like I think last year or year before, or whatever. So it could have been because you gotta think they make these expansions probably like a year ahead, 2 years ahead, or whatever. So
Yeah.
it was probably during all that stuff, and yeah, because I felt like Yustola at certain points it sounded like she was in like a small closet or far away from her mic. I don't know, but she just sounded way different at certain points than she normally does in other expansions. Same with a few others. So it could have been also just the audio crew didn't do their job precisely. Who knows? But I feel like that's what it was. It was just like maybe they recorded at their house in some kind of like set up booth. I've watched a few voice actors on how they do their like at home stuff. Sometimes they just put a couple blankets up and call it a day and microphone. So it is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, and I've heard of that blanket trick before. There was a guy I watch on YouTube. I think it's Lazy Purple. He does a
Uh,
lot of Team Fortress 2 reviews, and he's sitting there, it's like, oh, and someone showed me how to do this. And he's sitting there with this little TF2 thing going, watch how I do this. And he pulls a blanket up over his head and he goes, yep, that's me underneath the blanket right now. And then his wife took a picture of him underneath the blanket.
yeah, I think that's what happened, unfortunately, because this I feel like just in general most games are always a year ahead to 2 years, and they were already talking in talks like prior before Dawntrail of just like their future of how many expansions they're planning in the future, blah blah blah. So I think this was already set up, and then at the time some of these voice actors unfortunately were probably at home recording their side. Hi Kraken.
Hey, Kraken. What about you, Beck? What do you think about some of like the audio quality that's been going through the game?
I don't want to spoil it, but the new songs from the raids,
Oh my god, yes, I
especially
know.
that last one, M4.
They're fire. They're fire.
Yeah, that one.
I
I
want my
listened to
little
that
music
all
sheet.
day at work.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love the audio stuff that they do,
I
and
need
it's
him to get caught up so he can be on the same page with us because that was what I was talking about too.
I
Earlier.
I'm sorry. I am so close to being caught up. If I wouldn't have done something last night and wasted 2 hours, I probably would be in endgame right
Yeah,
now.
because he was talking about. I will just a brief part of it, just like the belief system of that last area, like how their ideology word whatever of living and stuff. I was like, well,
Yeah.
wait until you get to the raid one or whatever for the new stuff because yeah, it's got its own little twist of things too with the that equipment.
yep.
All right. Um. Oh, I don't want to attack her just yet. Let the tank attack. Whoopsie daisy. So with going into raids so far, I haven't really like I've done alliance raids. So I think I've done all of them at least once. Normal raids, I think I've done all but one of them once. Save for obviously the new ones. What's some ones you guys enjoy?
Um, straight off the bat for me, right off the bat, the all like the Omega stuff. That story is amazing. Just it's cute, but sad, but amazing. Um, the other one would probably be the Alexandria one as well, because it's just got like that electro, like techno metal music.
Oh god,
Uh,
the music in
yeah,
those ones. Every single time I hear them, I just think Splatoon.
yeah. Like I turn my volume up onto max anytime we get into that place because I just love it. And then my last one would be the Pandemonium ones because they were pretty good. Like just that too. The music in those were amazing, and the fights were pretty fun.
What about you, Beck? You got a favorite raid?
Favorite raid, probably the Stormblood raids, the Omega raids, and then it's gonna be the Eden, more specifically the Eden's Promise one set. Um, Pandemonium ones weren't bad. Music, yeah, for those of the fifth and sixth circle
Yeah.
Yeah, 5th and 6th circle was nice, which I'm still waiting for them to put that on streaming services.
Yeah, because even the Athena one or whatever like that last one was so good for her set.
So I don't think I've gotten. I think I've done like the first circle, but that's about it. So I haven't gone too deep into that raid.
You haven't beat it yet?
Well, I think I've done the first one as a roulette, but I haven't done I don't think I've
What's wrong
done
with you?
any of the other ones.
You haven't even gotten to the
Yeah.
Abyssos?
Why haven't you done it at least once? Go do
Because
it. It's amazing.
I've been leveling.
And
I'm so,
it has the people that you like to as well. Like their story and connection. What's wrong with you?
I've only been playing for like 5 months.
How is it that
The fact
Bek
that I was
and
wait,
I
the fact that I was ready for Dawntrail in 5 months it should be impressive. I got through 10 years of content in 5 months.
I think it's because you were playing Power World.
I have only been playing Power World the last like 3 weeks. Shut your mouth.
I can't really say much. I've been playing the first Ascendant pretty religiously.
Yeah,
I've
mean,
been
there's
hearing
the
about
summer
that.
of the games right now. Both of those, the Power World, Descent, the Human. Yeah.
I will say, I think my favorite, to go to my favorite raid, I'll do an oldie one. It's one of the Crystal Tower ones in A Realm Reborn. Only because I accidentally killed somebody in that raid as a healer. Like, what happened is we were doing this one mission, and because it's an Alliance raid, we had a tank in our party. I think it was Citrus, yes. I'm pretty sure I told all you this story, but I'll say it for the stream. Our tank went AFK. We ran up this platform and ran into I think it was a green dragon. And right before we went into the go of fight, I look at one of our DPS and go, "You're the tank now." And this dude runs in, smacks the dragon before any of the other tanks can, and takes aggro, and just gets one-shotted.
Gotta love them tank busters.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it wasn't even a tank buster. The dragon just looked at him and said, "You're dead," and killed him on the spot.
Sometimes I like when the raids have basically a checkpoint for either the healers or the tanks randomly. Like it'll be just like the tanks need to throw up a shield wall for one of the big breaks or whatever, and then like if everyone's new, we tend to wipe. But it's always funny when like we get in, and then everyone's just like, "How do we all wipe?" And you're just like, "Well, someone has to use the limit break at this point. It's either the tank or the healers." But the healers always seem surprised, like Pikachu face about it.
Well, to be fair, with most of the content in the game, like 90% of it, you want to lead a limit break to the DPS to do as much damage to the boss
Yeah, I
as you can.
think in just my thought is I think they should put like somewhere on the right side or left side of just like, hey, this might be a healer LB or this might be a tank LB, like some kind of hint or something. I don't know, because yeah, you kind of just have to wing it and guess who has to put the LB up for those particular fights. Not all of them, like you said. Yeah, like usually it's DPS, but once in a blue moon, they throw in that little card and they're just like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
See to sacrifice extreme.
Yep, that was pretty much not fun to do. Wipe like several times because the tanks could never figure out who wanted the LB. Why did they need the LB? DPS kept using the LB beforehand, or the healers kept using. So yeah.
See, with me, when getting used to the game, and I just sat there and went, "Okay, limit break is on my bar. Everyone can see it on my bar. I call it the forbidden button. I do not press it unless someone yells at me to." So that's why when I started playing Dancer and I got into some dungeons where I could actually hit the limit break, I'm sitting there going, "Oh, I can press the forbidden button." Have not done it on a tank there though, so it's still a forbidden button for him too, or for that size as well.
Yeah, it just depends on what content you're doing.
But I think outside of the Crystal Tower, I think the near raids in Shadowbringers are kind of fun. Um, but they did introduce to me a little bit of an issue that Final Fantasy XIV does have with some of these bosses that they're adding into the game. They're getting a little too big for being able to like zoom out and see all their tells.
Well,
You're talking about Puppet's Bunker.
I know that there's some that like when my partner started playing Final Fantasy and he has an ultra wide screen, so I went to see his screen. I was like, damn, it shows you the whole arena. What the hell? Like I was so if you have ultra wide, that's no problem. Apparently it shows you the whole damn screen. You can zoom back as far as you want and be fine. But if you're a normal screen user, have fun trying to zoom out as far as you can.
See, with me, I'm mostly like the main enemy. I will sit there and demonize for having that having the screen thing is the last the last boss of I think the first near raid where he's like the freaking walking oil rig.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, like the big guy.
Yeah, he's just a he.
I think some of those fights are meant to be that like POV though. I mean, honestly, like maybe it would be best if you had like an ultra wide, but like who's gonna go out to get an ultra wide just for one game? That's kind of silly. But I think that's meant to be the look like that for that reason. And I've never played those games, but I've seen people play them, and those bosses look pretty huge in that game itself. So maybe they're trying to mimic off of that in a way.
Well, I mean, with that is it's another thing like Guild Wars. We'll go to Guild Wars 2 just because I feel it's a good example. They have gigantic bosses. Like one that comes to mind is
like Shadow Behemoth, whatever.
No, not not even Shadow Behemoth. I'm talking about like Zera from Raid Wing 3 Final Boss.
Yeah.
Is
no.
They still keep the scale, but you can zoom out so far and be able to see everything. And
I
you
just
can still
think
get a
though
scale
Guild Wars
of, like,
2 has always been nice with the zoom out, even with World Bot. Like it planned, you know what I mean? Like I guess the zoomies out. I don't know. It could be that they have to make sure for technicalities because I also learned, I think it was Shadowbringers. I could be wrong, but there was a time where there was a race, and it was like literally last year, or year before. But there was a race, and people abused the screen somewhat because they could zoom out to a point and place markers. And I think it was the Japanese team or whatever. They got caught cheating or something with it, and also, but there might be a reason why they don't let us fully zoom out. It's maybe because of just like people abusing certain things, which is silly because it's not fair, especially if you're using it just like you said to have a better visual of the platform in the arena, whatever. But yeah, I know that it kind of got abused last year over a race or a year before.
See, I could see that. I could see not wanting it to be in the competitive stuff like that. But I mean, like, just dungeons. Like, keep it just like the dungeons
Yeah,
themselves.
maybe.
Have a little bit of code in
Yeah,
there.
because there's no one really racing for world first on those things for sure. But I don't. That's the only thing I could think of. And also, I know for that particular raid, it wasn't really made by the Final Fantasy team. It was actually made literally the devs from Nier Automata, whatever. Is it Nier Automata or Nier? I
Nier
don't know how to
Automata.
yeah, basically they actually handcrafted all that. There was like I know I've linked you a couple times the live letters or whatever. Back then, that's what Yoshi P one of the live letters was him talking with said person, and they were talking back and forth, and they said that they gave him full reign to build the whole platform and arena. So it could have been like maybe they just didn't know how to really like. Not saying they don't know how to build a game, but I'm just it's not their equipment, you know what I mean? And they worked with what they got.
Yeah.
Is what I guess I'm putting it.
What do you think about some of the camera aspects and the bigger bosses?
There's only been a few that I've had a problem with. The last one on Puppet's Bunker for near,
Yeah.
was a bit of a pain. On the rest of them, I don't really have that much of a problem with them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really either. I so far they've been pretty good. The only ones I usually have issue with somewhat is I think like Ruby was a little pain in the butt with me, which is from Shadowbringer, I believe, Trials, whatever. And
Yeah,
then
it's a
yeah,
Shadowbringers trial.
basically all the that little set of trials for the little mech people and stuff for Shadowbringer is kind of rough. I just had to keep like swiping my camera around with me as I ran around in circles.
Okay. So we went through raids. So let's go. Let's keep with uh PVE stuff. Let's go dungeons. Any favorite dungeons? Ones that you sit there and you're like, oh, I want to do this dungeon today, or don't want whatever. Let into this one. This one sucks.
I will be honest. I think it's like what ARR. Most of those are boring. uh, I despise them, but I do what I have to do when I have to do them. Other than that, most of the other like I actually like pretty much everything else. And it now that they added the new system to hopefully make it where we're not queuing up for older content all the time anymore. Which so far when I queue up, I've been getting a lot of like either Shadowbringer or Endwalker instead of like old stuff. Um, it's nice. So it might fix that little problem with me like getting burnt out seeing that area. But overall, I like all the dungeons.
What about you, Beck? You got a favorite dungeon?
I got one I don't want to do ever again, and it's the one from the last two that were the expert ones in Endwalker. There's only so much I can hear of him shouting at Golbez.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those ones kind of suck. I will agree with that.
Well, they only had two for the dungeons. They only had two in the expert roulette, so it was just like, what was it called? It was like Aether Font and something else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Void Moon thing.
Mm-hmm.
But favorite dungeon, um, I think probably Tower. I think probably the first one's in Endwalker, and then Venice-Badia. That one where you're going through Thavnir and it's like
Yeah,
on fire. That was pretty good. I like the Tower of Babel and the Tower
that one
of
is pretty.
what was the name of the tower? I forgot what the other name of the tower was.
Oh,
Where they brought the Delta sister, the Magus sisters and Anima back.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I don't know that one off the top of my head.
Is it the Tower of Zot?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, that one's good. The first queue up for that when that game came out, no one knew who to attack, so literally one DPS, and I was tanking. And it was frustrating because I was like, this is going nowhere. But literally one DPS was attacking one, the other DPS was attacking the other, and then I was just focused on the one that I pulled, and it took way too long than it needed to be for everyone to figure out like who to basically attack first. But it is overall cool. Like I like the setup.
Okay.
I also think that the Smalatin is a fun dungeon, but
Everybody hates that dungeon.
I, I, in a adult, I was taking adult herbs. I'm gonna say herbs. And I queued up for that dungeon for my first time, and I swear to God, I thought I was tripping on a bad ship or something was happening. So I was just like, never do this again on my herbs. I will just wait and try again the next time. But then I realized, okay, it wasn't just the herbs; it was literally the dungeon the way it is. I love it because they also have like the little Dark Soul reference in the corner, like in certain parts of the thing or whatever. So
Yeah.
what's your favorite?
I'd probably have to say that my like this is gonna sound cliche, but my favorite dungeon is probably the first run of Haku Manor, just because of how many people forget how to run that dungeon. So you have like a level 90, level 100 tank run past the first key every time. So it's not because the dungeon's good. I mean, it's a decent dungeon, but it's just the little things people forget to do because it's such an old dungeon.
Hmm.
It just makes you laugh every time. The one dungeon I hate, I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me. But it's another one of the early dungeons where it's like the abandoned snowy keep, but it's like the second version of that dungeon where you have to fight the turtle with the big Bertha cannons.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that
Don't diddle
sucks.
hard.
You
And the amount
can't
of people that don't. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
you can't target the boss or else it'll get you in or else it'll throw you off the cannon. You gotta shoot at its feet. You gotta pay attention to you spam skill 1 and then skill 2 and it goes to shield. That one just it is bad. Like if they fix the cannons to where you could attack with it, attack while targeted, it wouldn't be that bad. But because you can't, it's just not good. Really did not have fun in that one.
Now, what's everyone's favorite trial or dislike trial?
Favorite trial?
Yeah, trial. Have you not done
Oh,
any trials like Ifrit, Shiva, all them, and other stuff along the way?
um, I would probably take what's it called? The Leviathan like hard or extreme where it tilts the boats over. That one's I find that one fun for some reason now that I know the patterns of it and know what to look for.
What about you, Beck?
Mine is, I forget the name of it, but it's the one with the Byaku from Stormblood, the extreme of that one, the Tiger Boy.
Okay, we got a Kraken saying that
Oh,
Dancing
yes, I
Wing,
do like
Dancing
that
Plague is
one.
good.
I love Sheba, and I like to say, "Step on me, mommy," just like everyone does in there. I love her, but I also love all the trials from actual, like the one you're playing now. I love him as much as he's a cheesy, evil SOB. I love the fact that he was a fat doughboy and he turns into this beautiful, immaculate man.
Oh,
Like,
you mean the one I'm fighting right now?
yeah,
Oh no, he's hot.
Exactly. That's what I thought too. Because I was telling everybody when I was playing through Talk with Friends because they were like, "Oh,
yeah.
where you at in the game now?" To see where I was. And like, "Oh, you're gonna have fun with Innocence." So I'm sitting there, it's like, "Oh yeah." I'm sitting here, it's like, "Okay, we get to fight the fat bastard." And then it's like, "Oh, now he turns into Sanguinius from Warhammer 40k."
Pretty much. It's great. And I will say, even trial music, like overall, Soken does great. Like music has been smacking hard, light to me. Like he does all sorts of range. It's never the same. And the fact that as I took you on the mount run to get your horses for the first expansion, that's one thing I do like about as well is that the mounts that you get from these trials, well, obviously extreme trials because that's where they drop from. Um, they have the music from these trials, and I love it. I just love riding around like Kraken said, Shiva's music. I ride my little pony around, bopping a little Shiva. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'll agree with this whole music thing. It's like as much as I will crap on Alexander for the raids, because my God, when I was uh, pushing through to unlock them all, it was just bad. And the music being Splatoon music in my ears, it's not bad music.
I just love it that most of the time it fits the theme too, just like the ambience, I guess, of everything. You got this. Don't get lasers.
Focusing a little hard on this part right now. I'm sorry. God. So we did
You want me to
trials, we did
ask a
raids,
question here to help
dungeons.
you?
What's up?
You want me to ask a question here to help you out?
I'm just running through roulette, so it's completely up to you.
Okay, then what's your favorite zone before Dawntrail? Like a map.
I will be a basic bitch, and I'm gonna say Limsa Lominsa, just because I really haven't found a area in the game yet where I can really chill.
Okay. Well, now that Dawntrail's out, I have a new area, but before that, I would say Limsa as well, but then Golden Saucer second. Because I like to be in Chuck E. Cheese slash Casino place.
What about you, Beck? You got a favorite area?
Probably Crystarium.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Ooh,
one.
yeah, no, that's a good choice.
And then second one would probably be the Elpis. Elpis is a lot of fun for me. I like that one. Plus, all hail the lamp.
All hail the lamp.
I think I
Someone
love
could.
Crystarium, but I also disliked how huge, like, spread out everything was in that map.
Say you would understand the lamp if you were doing hunt trains.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I apologize for my lack of knowing things.
No, you're fine.
Don't worry,
Okay.
we'll get you there.
I'm
Yeah,
certain you guys will.
I'm definitely questioning on why you didn't do the Pinmorium, but you know, whatever, I guess.
um, so what would be your guys' go-to class?
Like what, if a new player was coming in, or if I were to play this game, like what?
If you're like, what's the class you always go to do anything in the game? Like the one you enjoy
Mm,
playing the most?
Bard, and then my Paladin second.
What makes you enjoy the bard so much?
Well, because there's not an actual archer class like a ranger class, so it gives me that rangerness, but also like the whole music thing. It's kind of cool. Although it feels like I'm just a boring, useless DPS because I don't really do much compared to like a dancer and anyone else in that damn group. Um, it's there, you know. I might be changing up to Viper though because I just finished, like I said, Dawntrail, and I want to like go ahead and start leveling Viper. So who knows? Maybe Viper might be my next.
Viper's really fun.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. I'm gonna do.
What about you, Beck? You got a top one or two?
Oh, let's see. For tank roll, it's a tie between Gunbreaker, and Warrior. For DPS, melee DPS is probably Dragoon, although I haven't seen what they've done to the changes to it yet. And Viper, especially Viper. Viper's been a lot of fun. For range, it's Machinist all the way. For magic users, it's probably Summoner because it has the least amount of standing still for cast bars. For healers, it's the Sage.
Yeah, if I could pick a healer, I'd say Sage or Astrologian because White Mage is boring.
Yeah.
I will.
Sorry.
Having played nothing but healers, I will agree. White mage is boring.
They're amazing. They have really good abilities. It's just boring.
Yep.
No, I 100% understand that. As for me, obviously, everyone knows how much I've gushed over Scholar so far. Probably next would be Astrologian. It seems for Shield Healer, I like Scholar. I don't know why. I just enjoy having the fairy around a lot. And then Astro is just a net DPS increase for parties, so it's a really good one in my mind to have. Like if you're going for if you're going for pure heals, you want to. I figure Astro over White Mage just for those the tarot cards and the DPS increase to help with the party. Outside of healers, I think the one class I've been leaning towards is dancer, and I've been enjoying the throwing the chakrams.
The only thing I don't like about Dancer is that you don't proc some of your abilities per skill use. That's the one thing I don't like about Dancer.
Oh, how it has the chance to proc it, not always proc it.
Yeah.
No, I can see how that goes, especially if you're kind of like in the zone for a specific rotation. Like, okay, I need like this one skill to proc, and it's like, okay, it's supposed to proc up a skill too, and it never does when you need it.
Yep.
Okay.
I will say, Blue Mage is really fun, even though it's not like the main class of the groups here. But if you haven't done that yet, I suggest you do. It's pretty fun. It's a fun little solo class, or you can group up with others to do other content. But yeah.
And you can get a special mount if you do first two raid series or first two raid groups on Savage.
Yeah.
You get the Marbolo mount. Surprised they didn't add one for the Eden raids too.
Yeah, I feel like they will like later because they've been kind of like inching them up. I feel like they might to add some kind of content for them to do, especially with the new solo class coming in.
Yeah, Beastmaster or something.
Yeah, which I'm excited for because I'm curious on if that will fill my hunger on kind of being a ranger, but not really.
Okay. So as soon as you guys did go into Viper, and I'll just throw in Pictomancer on top of that, since you guys have both completed Dawntrail, what do you guys think of the two new classes so far?
Haven't played Pitcher Mancy yet, but it looks really cute. Might not be my style, unfortunately, so I might not touch it at all. Or I might pick it up just to check it out and then like level it, but I don't think I'll be playing it. Viper, I definitely just I need to get and I'm gonna run through fates and like level it up or whatever and play with it and see how it goes. Cause so far watching other people play it, it looks a lot of fun.
I'd say Viper's been fun. And that was the first one I got to 100. That's the one I went through the MSQ. Picto's not bad. I'm just not keen on casters with long cast times.
Yeah.
Which is why I like Summoner more. But I mean, it it definitely chunks. It has a certain skill. I don't remember what level it is. Um, but it's three of them that hit an AOE for a guaranteed crit. Does some good chunking damage.
I love the like visual of it. Like it looks really cool, but I'm with Beck here. I just that's kind of the reason why I don't really care for casters either is the build up and taking all that time to get that big oomph.
That's funny because I remember some of the trials and raids I did on a melee DPS or with the first times I ever did them, I was like, oh, like okay, learning the fights. But then when I started playing as more of a ranged, and doing a caster, I was getting hit by so many more mechanics
Oh yeah,
than I was on my melee.
especially because you feel bad. Like I know Black Mage usually has to kind of stand still in places, and it sucks because a lot of those mechanics require them to move, which sucks if they're trying to get their whole like full damage rotation out per se. So they have to like really know time and place to put their stuff down and hope for the best.
Yeah, I've yet to even go to unlock them, so I have no idea how they play. I just know when I'm running through a dungeon, it's like, oh hey, there's a Pictomancer in the group because I just saw a painterly hammer pop out of frickin' nowhere above someone's head.
Yep.
I love it though, and I love the little Moogle. It's cute. It's all very cute. It's just not my playstyle, unfortunately.
So what about some of the updated changes to the classes you guys like? What do you guys think about those? I'd say kind of in vein of how the Astrologians cards got changed.
My bar didn't really get too much of change. I think I like got two things, and really all it was like I don't know. It didn't feel like it changed like a much of a difference on my rotation or ability. Just gives me an extra button to push. My paladin pretty much stayed the same. I think they just got a little stronger. They had like one or two little tweaks, but other than that, don't feel any difference on there. I think more of the other classes that felt the difference are people like dancer and red mage. Red mage is super OP right now. I don't know if they nerfed them down yet or not, but like the release of dawntrail, apparently they were super strong.
I haven't played with enough of my stuff. I'm very curious to see. I did dabble a little bit with the Dragoon and how they changed the whole eye system.
Yeah, I heard some
Um,
people were not too happy about the changes for dragoon.
um, I know Dragoon was kind of a lot of the one that I did. I think it was the first one I got up to max gear score in Endwalker. Um, I haven't seen. I know my buddy is not happy about the changes to Dark Knight. Um, how they took away
Yeah,
the
that too.
damage for the gap closer.
Yep, yep. That's a big complaint as well. And I know people are worried about Black Mage as well because Yoshi P has hinted that they're trying to work out ways, like I said earlier, about how to make it a little easier for them to throw out their skills. But a lot of people apparently don't want it to be super changed in a way. So I can see that with the Dragoon situation too. If you're like used to a certain thing, or Dark Knight and all these other people, yeah. So
Yeah, and I think the only changes I've noticed myself was the card changes for Astrologian, and that's only because I've been up until the release of Dawntrail, I was leveling Astro, and then those changes came out, so it definitely did feel a lot different now that
does it feel
they,
like it's nicer for you?
huh?
Does it feel nicer to you, or do you feel like
Um,
it's rough?
it's more okay. I have to relearn what the cards do because they changed the effects on all the cards, save for like two of them.
Mm-hmm.
From there, it is like the clutter of the cards is still kind of there, but instead of having draw, undraw, redraw, now it's just like you draw once you get three cards. Well, you get four cards if you have the king and queen unlocked, but then it's three cards if you don't. So it really didn't affect the hotbar too much. But I do agree with some people who are memeing when they told what the new effects are going to be. It's literally, save for the DPS increase cards, everything goes to the tank. It's, oh, hey, here's a shield. Hey, here's a regen. Here's another regen. Here's a heal over time or something. It literally is, everything goes to tank, save for two cards now.
Interesting.
I
I thought
mean,
about playing one of those again. I have it like I think level 70, and then I just stopped because at the time I was like, my white mage is almost closer to max. I'll just get it out of the way, and then I just stopped.
it's still not a bad class to play, and it still does offer that DPS buff. But the change in the cards definitely is an interesting thing.
Mm.
And of course, obviously, because I'm playing Scholar so much, because it is my highest level class, and it was the one I could play through Dawntrail with. It's like, okay, fuck it. We'll see how it plays when I go to level it up to 100 after this.
I mean, that's not bad.
It's not bad at all. It's like it doesn't seem like they've killed a class that I know sometimes when developers try to update a game, they can just take a class, change two things of it, and just completely kill it to where no one plays it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
I guess
very curious to see what they did to Monk.
Oh yeah.
was that.
They like completely changed the way the rotation is and everything. Plus, it adds like a whole another gauge and stuff. At least from what I saw.
Oh, fun.
Well, I had been playing Monk fairly consistently through the Stormblood expansion, but I just haven't played it since then.
Did it just get a little boring, or you wanted to try something
No,
else?
I just wanted to. I think Monk was the first one I got to 90. No, Paladin was the first one I got to 90. Monk was the first DPS I got to 90. And then after that, I was kind of mainly stayed on Dragoon. I'm also curious to see what they did for the ninja too. Changing that whole thing up.
All right. So, I want to go to another thing. So we talked about Hashiprong earlier. We talked about some other NPCs, and I know like you all know who my favorite NPC is. I'm gonna get, or some of you know, who is your favorite NPCs? And for sake of argument, let's not include the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Oh,
What?
too late! Too late there. Sorry,
What the heck?
you lost me. I don't have another favorite one. You stole the best cat girl. That is all.
Exactly. A +1 here. Like
No,
saying,
no,
yeah.
there is one better cat girl, but okay, fine. Is Stola really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about her? You got a problem with her and her tune and sassiness?
You talking smack about cat mommy?
Yeah. What the heck?
No, no, I know the better cat mommy.
Um, I would also say I actually liked well, if we talk about dawntrail, just Aaronville, and then
Yeah, he's
um
been having a really good character
yeah,
growth in this expansion.
and then well, kind of like all of Hashifon's like family, like the brothers and his dad, like that whole group and their story. Like I actually like them; they're pretty cool.
I will agree with that. Hashafron's family is the entire House Four Temps is just they seem like the aristocrats that you'd want in the world. They seem caring. They seem to enjoy each other's company. Like it's not like, oh, the dad made the money and the kids are just pissing it away. I mean, they are to an extent, but it's not like it's not in a bad way, I guess. Any other? What about you, Beck? You got anybody else besides Ishtola?
Oh wait, hang on.
Or
Wait, Beck, hang on. Are we only going on good people or villains too?
If they're an NPC, go for it.
Oh my god, I can't think of her name now on the top of my head. She's Stormblood. She's got the long cigarette. What's her name? Beck, do you know who I'm talking about?
oh no.
She's a baddie. She turns into a trial boss. She's a sister. Oh my god, what is her name now?
Oh God, what is her name? It's Suna. Where is it?
Oh, are
It's
you talking about
Zomi?
in Doma?
But that's not her name, is it?
No,
Like,
no,
no.
you're the evil Doma lady.
The Suki Suki. I don't. No.
Tsukuyomi?
Yeah, is that what
Yeah,
her
that's
name
the
is?
trial boss name, isn't it?
Oh
Yeah,
no, that's her one thing. Yeah, basically her, whatever her name is. I can't even think now what it is on the top of my head. But I actually liked her whole like art and her personality, everything. Okay, now you can go back. Sorry, I
They
just wanted to get that out.
they wrote her well because you cannot help but hate that woman.
Yeah, like that's that and oh well and Xenos as well. As much as people
Or best
dislike
friend.
and like, I love
I'm
him.
gonna be honest. They overused his ass too much.
I get it. I get that point. I think the whoever wrote him towards the end did well. The
He should never have
Stormblood,
been in Endwalker.
yeah, the Stormblood version of him, it just felt like overused, and I was just like, can we just have our 1v1 and get it over with? Like,
Yeah, they dragged him out just a bit too long. I will.
overall, I liked his like little arc as well in certain ways. And I get what Beck's saying too on the like not being where he needed to be.
Uh,
If we're talking about NPCs, though, I've got another one.
Yeah, go ahead,
Ze-
Beck. He wasn't even gonna
Zero.
go. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
you the goth girl.
Hell yeah.
Beck likes some
vampire.
goths.
I mean, I'm
My
not gonna
favorite
deny
part
it.
was the apple, of her eating the apple the way she did.
Just suck the life out of it.
You know you can eat it with my mouth?
That
Yes,
one
with your
and the
mouth.
part where, uh, oh,
Oh boy, level 100 dungeon. Wish me
where
luck.
what's his face came in shirtless from working out, and she thought she needed to take her shirt off as well.
Oh, Estinian.
Yeah.
I got to that scene. I told my friends about that, and she's like, "Oh yeah, the Estinian thirst girls are all over that scene." It's like you're one of the main two. She's like, "Yep."
Yeah, for the end of Endwalker, they were really showing like how well the gear and tech like work could really do in the system, because the sweating beads and the food, the steam, like you can tell they were enhancing over time the graphical stuff.
So I will go with some of your points. I do like Xenos. He was really fun. I will say, even though I did say he was over, I do agree he was overused, and he was just the main enemy for too damn
Yeah, I
long.
think that's what it was, because
Um,
overall he was kind of annoying, but he was still cool.
I do like how he showed restraint in the lead up to the final fight with Twitterbird, whatever the hell her name was.
Hmm.
Because it's just us, him, and that Metreon. That's her name. Just in this void, and he knows it's like I could piss you off in the easiest way by just killing Metreon right then and there. But he shows restraint. He's like, "Nah, you two finish what you're doing, because I know Metreon's gonna leave, and then it's me and you, and we're gonna go at it." And just that
Some
last cutscene
say
of throwing gloves is
Yoshi
great.
P said that that little chip that falls down to teleport you back is actually his gift to you to take you back home.
So with that, I feel that we do the one on one, and we both and us and Xenos fall down, and he's just sitting. It's like, you know what? Nah, like I I know who won this fight, and that's the person who walks away. So he throws it to you. It's like, I'm gonna die here. Who gives? I've died. You've killed me
Hmm.
once. Screw it.
That's all he wanted. He wanted that final fight. He
Yeah.
wanted to fight with someone that was pretty much at his level per se. So
See,
we
he got me.
saturated or satiated his thirst.
See, yeah, he's like, okay, I'm done. So get out of here. I'm alone. You got people who are waiting for you. You win.
I also feel like the reason why he's got a little mix of like issues is the I mean, look, they had at the time Emmett mixing in the bunch, plus oh, can't think of the other freaking Asian that played part of that at the
La
end.
Habrea.
Yeah, and I feel like because La Habrea did his little personality with it, it kind of made Xeno seem either more annoying to be around, or like I don't know, like it's just the combo of it. I feel like that's why some people are just kind of like, whatever, you know. To me, I just felt like the mixture of the stories combining each other.
Okay, so I'll do two more NPCs. I got one more villain I'm gonna throw on my list because you just reminded me of him. Emmett
Okay.
Silk.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's a good one too. Yes,
It's like
Idolин's good.
I don't
Hippo
fanboy over
Potatoes.
I don't fanboy over a lot of male characters, but my god, I fanboy over that motherfucker.
Yeah, I love all like their like story and build up, and I just the dramatic end like of Shadowbringer where you just kind of go into his world and he's standing at his two big like the two big door thing, and it opens up and he's just like basically telling you that he's made children, he's broken bread, and he's done everything. Like he's been here and there at this point, and he's fed up. He just wants to bring back his like his friends and family.
Yeah, it really does seem to me out of all the Asians we run into in the story, Emmett Selk, if he wasn't so bound to his mission, he's probably the one of the ones that would have gone, no, my time's over. Let's see if we can make sure you guys like survive longer and make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, he was disappointed in Endwalker to find out how he turned out. He even got upset with you because he was like, no way, that's not how it would be. But when obviously the story laid out and the whole thing played out, he was forced to do what he was doing because he wanted to bring his friends back.
Yeah,
So,
and with him having his memories wiped and stuff like that, with fighting God, what's his name? Not Hythlodaeus, the other Asian that made Meteon.
oh, oh my God, what is his name? Holy crap!
Yeah, the one that wiped his memories.
Yeah.
What do you think about Emmett Silk there, Beck?
It wasn't bad. I didn't. I. I mean, I liked how he came back into the story later on,
Yeah,
especially
same.
during the extreme trial, or well, not even the extreme trial, but the regular trial during the MSQ.
Because I will say, during Stormblood, I thought he was like an annoying Joker version, like trying to be the Joker. The way he was laughing, smiling, doing all the silly stuff he was doing. I was like, this dude's fucking annoying. But then later on, like, yeah, like Beck said, as things went on and you learn about him and grow, especially with Endwalker, I was like, okay, I see. I see why you're doing what you're doing.
All right, and now to piss off both of you, as I sit there and said I know the better cat mommy, Dulia Chai.
No, no.
That woman is amazing, and I love her.
She's amazing, but she will never be on your solo level. I
I
do love her and her husband though. I love them so much.
They have
The
such a
the
good dynamic.
personality is silly, yeah, like, and they are kind of like yin and yang off of each other. It's really good.
He sits there, opens his mouth too much for his own good. I was like, yeah, I can sit there and repair this. He goes, but I'm not going to. And Julia just sits there, it's like, you're going to do it because you love me. He just sits there and it's like, yes, dear. And then he's like, I should learn not to open my fucking mouth. And then 20 minutes later, he does it again.
Yep. I just love how when she embraces him too, she just like squeezes the loving the shit out of him.
Well, that's the great thing is if you get the mini pet for Dulia Chai from one of the books, it
Uh-huh.
literally says in the description, it's like Dulia Chai of like this area comes with a asphyxiated plush, whatever the husband's name is, Chai.
Oh,
I always thought that was a nice little attention to detail there.
Beck, what's another character you liked or disliked?
I like Justinian. I will. It's mild, little, teeny, little bit of spoiler. Just teeny little bit of spoiler. Where the hell was he during the entire Dawn Trail? Like there was, you see him barely.
So
I was gonna say, do we? Okay, so first of all, are we done with the old stuff? Are we gonna move into the new so we can talk about something? Because I was gonna say there's some stuff I
So,
want to talk about
so
too with that.
yes, I say we're pretty much exhausted on the overarching stuff. We will go into Dawn Trail now. So
Okay.
I do want to put this as a disclaimer for both people who are watching the stream and people who are going to be watching the VOD later on. We are going to be going into the Dawn Trail. We are going to be going into spoiler territory a little bit with the first half of the expansion. Right now, we will probably go into the latter half of the expansion where the really heavy spoilers are. We will do another forewarning when we get to that part. But if you guys haven't done at least the first half of Dawn Trail, spoilers ahead. And yeah, keep listening at your own discretion. If you've beaten the whole thing, enjoy the rest of the conversation.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my
Okay.
God,
Spoiler
it's
time,
Stadium.
y'all.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Beck.
What? Okay. So I gotta ask. Where, other than the fight with him and
Gulul
uh,
Jaja.
yeah, God, I forget his name because,
My
but
thing is, I think what they're doing, because also some of the other asylum people were kind of like not really there. Like they show, like even you saw them show up in. This
also
is my
fuck you, Thancred.
some of these people. I think what they're trying to do is just like, I feel like this is supposed to be a whole new series. So we're diving into these new characters first, checking them out, all this other stuff. Like, yeah, we already know our main players. We know where like Estinian's business and what he's been doing, kind of in a sense, even though he's not been really around. And then same with Yusolam, like they've been studying and reading up. Yusola obviously is still trying to find a way to connect to the other, what do you call it, planet thing
She's trying
to,
to go to the first.
yeah, so that she can, reconnect to the one clan. So I know she's doing work with that, obviously. So I think what it is like I feel like later on when they do like our normal like story add-ons, we'll probably see like Emmett Silk and all these people, like all those people back as normal in a sense. But I think they're trying to introduce us to like the new ball-filled players, which is like Luke Lamont, Aaronville, uh, was it Kona, the other brother or
Yeah,
whatever, and stuff like
green
that.
hair, just
Yeah,
Kona.
so I would
See,
like to have seen him more honestly too, Beck, because he's actually my other favorite character too.
I still love one of the memes I've seen online on Reddit was look at this Stidian. He disappears at the end of what Endwalker, saying, "Oh, we're gonna go explore." Shows up in the palace fighting the king. Looks at us and says, "That's the real challenge." Then disappears. Doesn't fucking explain nothing. Just
I was more
hi.
bad that he got money too. That he would. I was like, when we've had to face him, I didn't get no money. I didn't get no money because he got like so much gil to basically chill out and retire. He basically said, and
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, I gotta do this too, and I don't get a bunch of. Here's 600 gil. Good luck.
No, that I will say that was a funny moment for seeing that as someone who does like a Estinian in the story because
He does show up again also at the train part
yes, and that's when he
for
sits there
like that fight real quick.
yeah, and
But
that's when he
yeah.
sits there and says like, oh yeah, fighting with the king. It's like I got a hefty amount of money. I could travel for a few years and still have some left over, and I'm just sitting there going, dude, with what you spend on stupid stuff, no, you really don't.
Yeah, and then he helps out another part, but I don't. Since we're not going too far in, that's where
Yeah, the
he's
train station's
basically
about
in all
halfway
the
point.
combat-y like parts of the story. It feels like for the major combat.
Um, so, what do you guys think of the trials themselves for the throne? Or what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the expansion in general?
I
Um,
liked it.
yeah, I was gonna say I actually enjoyed it. I know I had some people sit there and tell me that it was boring or too slow at the first part, or it doesn't make any sense, or people are just kind of mostly like some friends of mine are upset that it's not focused on their character anymore. And that's why I was really like bringing up like people have to understand this is a whole new like we literally finished and closed the books on the Asians, so now we're on a whole new page. This is like basically starting the next I don't know Lord of the Rings chapter in the sense like we're coming to another part. People like give it a sec. Your character has to figure out what your character's doing. The other NPCs are doing their own thing too. Like at the end of like Beck said of Endwalker, everyone went on their own way to go do what they wanted to do and figure out things, but they always have each other on call on the link pearl, I guess.
See, and I will agree a little bit with some of the people were telling you, Kit. Is it does feel a little slow, but we also have to keep
It's also a new writer as
yeah,
well.
it's a new writer. It does feel a little slow, but at
Because
the
the writer
same
for Endwalker, Shadowbringer, and all that stuff was one and the same.
yeah,
This one, not the same writer.
yeah, and then the other thing we have to realize, and it's a point you brought up, is we're not roaming around with a bunch of people who are like, oh yeah, you saved the world like 13 times over 10
Mm-hmm.
years. We
Yep.
were literally like, hey, we're gonna go just walk around. We're gonna be the homeless bum riding the trains to God knows where and see what
Yep.
happens. We're not
I
in
mean,
the
even
spotlight
some of your
anymore.
response to some of the NPCs, they don't know that you were basically the world saver. Like that, this island is on its own little, section of Eorzea, or whatever you want to call it, planet.
Aetheris.
Yeah, there is. So it's like people don't. It sucks. It's to me. I think it was perfect. I will say there's little parts I didn't understand too much. As much as I love Soken's music, the jazz in the first map, like the
Yeah,
start, like the it just throws me off. I was expecting like maybe some tropical, maybe some beach theme, something. Instead, I'm feeling like, okay, we at jazz club. Let's go. Like, what is happening here?
yeah, that was a shock. It's like, oh hey, there's a statue of Quetzalcoatl over there, and then all of a sudden it's like, why am I listening to jazz music?
Yeah, there's a few times where I'm like, I don't know what the vision was here, but you know what? You do you, man.
What was your first thoughts?
You like jazz?
Jazz music stops.
I mean, what about you, Beck? Like, overall, like, how did you feel about the story? Like, the pace and everything?
I was fine with the story.
Yeah, see, I'm the same.
Get back
I
in
I
your
think
was
some
perfectly
people
fine with the
also
story.
rush through content too. Like, you can rush or whatever, because I usually normally do that. This time around, I had to stream it, so I had to slow down. But I feel like people that rush just expect a certain level of, like, well, what's next? And you're just like, well, either start working on your crafters for savages and stuff or something, or work on some other, like, they weren't expecting you to munch on all that real quick.
No, I mean, even I took like 2 weeks before I really got into the expansion, just because my whole thing was like, okay, wait for the whole server population thing to kind of die down to a manageable level. Because I think
Mm-hmm.
the first night I logged in, I didn't have any troubles. I was like, oh, there's a queue of 40. But then when I logged in one morning, it's like, oh, hey, there's a queue of 3,000. I'm like, wait, what? It's like, okay, let's just take a step back from Final Fantasy 14 for a little
I
bit, play
know
something
that
else
they
for a
had a
week.
couple DDoSes, so that might have been why. Because I
Yeah.
think some of NA's centers were getting hit at the time.
That was before Dawntrail.
Oh, was it? Okay. Because I
Yeah.
remember apparently someone showed like a picture of like one of the NA servers being like wonky high, and I was like,
Yeah, that was before Dawntrail.
okay, okay.
I mean, it was just like one time early in the morning. It's like, okay, there's probably a lot of people off today or something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't
Yeah, on
worried.
the
I wasn't
first
worried
day
about it.
release, I think it was only like 1,000 for me to get in for Belmont, and then got in, and not, but I also logged in like literally directly at 4 a.m. when it came out. So, for my time wise.
Laughs at 14.
But so continue on with Wook Lamont's story. What do you guys think of her brothers Kona, Zoral Jha, and Bukal Jaja?
You go first, but because you're pretty much on. We're in the same like ideal of things, so I think I most likely will be on the same page of what you like. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm in the middle of a dungeon right now, so I'm like trying to pay attention to the mechanics. I thought it was fine. I was a little more surprised of what I was kind of expecting the ending. I was actually expecting the cool Jaja to be more of the main bad guy, but I
Same.
I wasn't overly surprised that they made him kind of the sob story villain
And the only reason why I
type.
thought that was because he stepped on my freaking tacos.
You wanted so you didn't want to kill him because he was a dick. You wanted to kill him because he stepped on your freaking food.
Yeah, I didn't care about anything else. The fact that Wilkmont took the time to get us prepped and check out these delicious tacos that she was bragging about the whole damn time. And then we get there, and his ass basically bullies us like a lunch school kid thing and freaking steps on our food. Jerk. And I was like, well, now you're the evil piece of shit in this story. And then I was amazed that it wasn't what I expected.
Nah, they did write him well because he was obviously hateable right out the gate. And I think as we started seeing more and more of him, it's like, oh no, they're gonna turn him into a sympathetic villain. And then
I
they
almost
did,
didn't think it was gonna be him. I thought it was gonna be the well, technically it was him, not him, but like the assistant, the I forgot the actual name of him, but the one that was helping
yeah, that
like
guy,
put whispers in these people's ears on things. I
yeah,
thought he was actually gonna like maybe sneak off, get the actual thing, and then like just f everybody and like to go through. But I was amazed at the situation that he got taken care of and business was handled. But
yeah.
he was still a little shit.
No, I will agree with that. Kona, I could see the writing on the wall when we got to the cooking task
Hmm.
that Kona was going to do something to make ensure that Book Lamont would win. It's like I could just tell from that, but he did it in such a hoss way. It's like I can't even be mad about it.
Yeah, their sibling like situation was really nice.
Yeah,
It was helpful but silly. All their personalities were very interesting. They all kept to their little thing. But yeah, it was kind of like, ooh, plot twist. Surprise, it wasn't really who we thought might have been the piece of shit.
Yeah.
He was just acting out, which is understandable because of, the story between his family and the whole two heads and whatever gift thing, stuff like that. So yeah, I agree with Beck on that part. What else did
Oh.
you? What would you say you liked as well in there, or disliked? I guess.
Ooh,
Did you like
I'd
any of
say
his
the
handling in
biggest.
particular?
I think I the like the transition from the areas. Right, you're going to more like a deserty type place that's still got the tropical side to it, and then all of a sudden, oh look, hey, guess what? Future city, bam! Like, okay, cool. This is a future city
Yeah.
that was hidden away. That all of a sudden,
Oh,
we
there's
find.
boss.
But yeah, so far my favorite stuff is just been the content. Like I just finished up with a dungeon. I'm like, I only ever ran that once, and I still remember all the mechanics. Thankfully.
I love the cyberpunk city. I love the cowboy map. I love it. I love all of them.
Yeah, I will have to say, I think I was streaming this game earlier, and we were getting close to the halfway point, and both Beck and another viewer of mine, Netloader, was curious about where I was at, and they're like, "Oh, he's almost to Texas." I'm like, "Almost to Texas? The hell you guys talking about?" And then I go into the area. Oh no, they're right. I am in Texas.
Oh, okay. Question, Beck. Did you at least unlock the after dungeons with the one
Yeah.
in?
Yep.
Did they buff the cactar?
With a cactor that's got some serious ass hands.
I do not know this boss yet. I'll be interested when I get there.
Yeah, you'll have to. It's the after dungeons that pop up when you're done with the story. So just make sure you swing by and grab all your stuff again or whatever. But yeah, it's like a full-on dungeon with like all the. I think it's like pretty much all the cactar, like different versions of cactar, and then maybe some cute little critter.
Okay.
And then
So
I still don't know the pattern for that stupid ghost city thing.
Yeah, same. I feel bad for whoever has to heal me on that shit.
So to keep with the first half of the expansion, what do you guys think of Gulul Jaja, the king?
I think it was a good story for him. It was nice to know where oh my god. The Rogadin guy. Oh my god, what is his name?
I know exactly. I can't remember his name off the top of my head either. The one we just met.
Oh, well, yeah. I just like his own adventure band of like their story as like you learn along the way and like their groups and stuff like that. And just like the bondness and closeness they have or whatever with one another. Because even Aaron Bill's mom has a part in that group as well, as you learn later on, but we won't say because that's towards mostly the end.
Yeah. What did you think of him, Beck?
To be completely honest, I really didn't pay that much attention to him.
Oh.
I really wasn't paying that much attention to him. I did, however, I mean, I kind of knew what was going to happen halfway through as soon as we were like meeting people. I'm like, yeah, you and you, there's going to be problems with.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen to you.
You're sitting there already you're already looking at NPCs going, your time card's going to get punched around here, yours going to get punched around here.
My whole thing was, I was like, who's going to be the one to punch the card?
Yeah.
That one, they definitely subverted my expectations.
Yeah, I actually cried a few times, even on some of the side quests. I was like, damn, you got me.
But the real question is, did you do the corn side quest?
Oh my god, yes! I did, and I got my little corn. I love the storyline for him.
I have not done the corn side quest. I've just been trying to get through story.
Do it, because each zone you go to, he comes up at least one time again. And then at the end, you get like a little mini pit of him. You start him off in the main city, so just start there and just activate him, and then you'll have to, since you already kind of went through a couple maps, you just have to go back to those maps, and then he'll pop up in there too, and you just do. And it's only one quest in each map that you do with him, so.
Yeah, it'll definitely give you something that's like post story mess around with and get it cleared out.
It's very cute.
All right. So what do you think of the duck people or the Pelu, the merchants?
Um, I laughed the fact that Wolf Lamont had a fear not only with boats but with the freaking spit of the um alpacas from there.
Yeah,
So
that part was pretty funny.
yeah, just like everywhere we like the air balloon, like everything she was like, girl had fears for
I
no
She
don't
was a
reason.
scaredy cat.
Yeah, literally just
I don't like boats. I don't like alpacas. I don't like
yeah, nothing.
dirigibles.
But that area alone, just like their merchants and stuff, I like the style. They look cool. The alpaca things and all. It's a pretty cool stuff. The mountain in the background though, beautiful. Like I was like, man, I wish I could just pop a tent here and camp here in real life. Like it was very pretty. And drink some. Oh, was it like they say Macau or Masal, whatever the fuck
Mescal.
yeah. You died. How dare you die? You need to delete your character, uninstall the game.
Oh God.
Fine, I will.
No.
If there was a permadeath version of a character, I wouldn't have even made it out of ARR.
Yeah, I don't think I
um,
would either.
it is very easy to die in this game. I will give it that. Um, so, oh God, should we go into talking about Dawntrail as a whole now?
I can talk a little bit about it. I don't want to ruin too much, but I mean, like, because me and Beck already beat it, and obviously he is on the same page where he's caught up with the current raids as well.
Okay.
So, and I don't want to ruin that for anyone because that has its own separate side with the device. That I'll just say a device, and that's it. But overall, like I will say, I'm gonna go ahead and say you will meet a queen and stuff. I think her whole like setup was interesting.
I know
Um,
I've met her and
yeah,
I have words for her.
I love her dress. I wish I could have that dress. Me as just
Yes.
visionary wise, because I love glamour. But um, her trial, oh,
Fuck
crazy.
that trial. That trial is gonna
Crazy.
suck
It's gonna
ass
suck
to the
down the street.
extreme.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. I agree. But it's just it was
I-
pretty cool. It
is
was
it
pretty cool.
is it the very last? Is it the very last one in the story?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I have heard of that. I think Netliter was talking about it. And he's sitting there, like, I just did that. That's bullshit, and I feel so sorry for whoever had to pick me up 6 times.
Yeah, I died a couple times myself.
So
The stupid wall.
Yep, it's the wall. Yep.
so all I heard, so I haven't seen it yet, and I just heard people complain about it, and it's like, I'm a healer. Am I gonna sit there and rage quit on somebody in
I
this
literally said
trial?
at the
You will
end,
suffer.
yeah,
You
you
will
will
have no
suffer.
MP.
Yep, and it was. I said right at the end of it, I said, "Well, this will be entertaining for anyone doing extreme version of this because it's probably 10 times worse."
Okay,
Well,
I am now looking forward to that.
I know I've seen recently people on, I guess, social media for Final Fantasy
uh
complaining that, oh, Dawn Trail's too hard. It's like, quit complaining. This is what you wanted.
This, I just, oh my god, I can go back and forth with that with all sorts of MMOs where it's like, why sit there? You rate like I'm fine with racing through the game to a point because I do it myself, but I don't sit here and be like, you know what, I'm bored. I have nothing better to do. Blah 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 blah. Like whatever game I'm playing, I know the expectation of what their end game content is. There's plenty of stuff to do. Figure it out. But then you get mad when there is challenging content, which Yoshi P stated that he's making sure that there's some challenge that people wanted. Now, like you said, back where it's like, now I'm seeing the same thing where it's like, no, it's like you guys are whining that no, it's too hard. Make up your mind. Like
Yeah.
if it's too easy, you complain about. If it's too hard, you complain about. Like it's damn if they do and damn if they don't type of thing for a lot of these devs.
I'm sorry. I don't like to be spoon-fed. Spoon-fed gear and rewards. I work hard for the money.
Exactly. Like I'm down to get my ass kicked a few times to learn a fight. Like I'm fine with that. Like it teaches you more about your class. It teaches you what you can and can't do, like movement, like coordination, teamwork, stuff like that. Like I'm down with it. So I think the last trial, as much as it was a pain in the ass, it
Oh my
was
god.
it was fun. It was still fun. I can't wait to see what it comes out with. Same. I actually to take it back a little bit. I thought that when we fought is it Baku? Not Baku Jaja. The big brother, the two-headed brother.
That's
Buckle.
but cool, Jojo.
Or wait, was it? No, 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 no. Okay, the king. When you had to fight the shadow form of him,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying not to spoil it too much. The shadow form of him. I thought that was going to be the trial. I thought it was going to be a trial. It should have been a trial, actually.
Yeah, no,
It
I'll
Because
could
agree
have
with
been.
that.
yeah, because like even though it wouldn't probably been as crazy or whatever, but it should have just been a trial, honestly. But it is fine. I'm down with the NPCs rocking with me to beat whatever it up. But yeah, so that was I was actually kind of surprised that wasn't a trial as well with like
I
the trial.
remember seeing. I remember talking with one of my buddies, and we were seeing the like what's some of the job skill traits that were going to be changed, and we saw that all the casters got their swift cast reduced down to 40 seconds, and then like I forgot what it was specifically for the tanks. I told my buddy, I'm like, oh, they gonna make us fucking work for it. We're gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
good. I'm like, it's fine by me.
Bring the pain.
I mean,
Yeah.
as we talked earlier about, tank busters, healer, but like the I will give you a warning for you since you're a healer for like the new raid, the fourth one or yeah, the fourth one, there is a heal check. So just be ready to be spamming the hell away with your heals
Oh, you're
because
talking about you're talking about the last
yeah,
thing. Yeah, yeah.
because
Oh,
that's like
thank you for the
people
warning.
were plopping and cropping on that one. So I agree with Beck. Like that's probably like just in general, like some of these fights, it's probably why they reduced the cooldown because even that fight alone, people were just blop 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 flop, just dying.
That's fine. I welcome a challenge.
Agreed. I'm
I don't
not
like being
upset about it.
spoon fed anything.
Make me hurt, please.
Make
It's
me
just
work for
general
the
like this
reward.
for a lot of games too. It's like WoW has the same problem. I haven't played in a long time with WoW. Last time I played was the like war one with like Jaina and them. I forgot what it's called, but
Battle for Azeroth.
yeah, Battle for Azeroth, and even is like one more challenge. Okay, the challenge came around. Now it's too much. Like, okay, what do you want them to do? Like, make up your mind. Then they brought the Keystone thing in too to like give you a build up of a challenge, and so Guild Wars 2. Like, luckily they're hearing the players out on that and bringing back the raids and bringing another difficulty of raid. So it's just like, I'm like with switching games here. What happens when Guild Wars 2 does bring that out? You're gonna have people complaining that it's too hard.
Oh, of
You
course they are.
know,
Of course, people are gonna
but,
find something to complain about.
and most of the time
Like
I feel
they
like if
one of the things that they did for Viper, right? They're like, oh, Viper's too busy. It's like the game. For one,
yeah,
the game hasn't even been out a week, and two, it literally says in the name of the skills that you're using, like flank or hind.
I was
Figure it
so
out. It's
irritated by
not that
that.
hard.
And I'm not even playing that class right now. I was irritated. I was like, it's a new class. Like, give it a sec to like get in here. Like,
It's it's not even hard. It's not even.
No, and Netloader is probably a good point. Dawntrail has a lot of unique mechanics. I think once people learn them, people will view them easier. I
exactly.
fully agree with that. It's one of those things I've even had to explain to a few of the guys in my community. It's like, yeah, when something first comes out, it's gonna be a pain in the dick to knock something out, but it's
Mm-hmm.
as you do it more and more, it gets easier and easier for you, and that's one reason why I've never like I get into it with some people. It's like, oh, well, it's easy for me. It's like, well, cool, that's easier for you. You've been doing this for 10 years. The new
Exactly.
guy, it's hard for. So shut the hell up.
Also, learn the mechanics because you can't DPS if you're dead.
Exactly.
100%. Like, you gotta figure it out. Like, and if it's not working for you, maybe switch your profession on your class, unfortunately, because
Yeah.
sometimes it just might not be the class for you to do that stuff.
Well,
I don't
That's
know.
why I like tanks.
Yeah, tanks are fun.
I
Tanks
guess
are good.
I guess that's one
That's
reason why I went
my
straight to
paladin is
healer.
my safety blanket if I want to just like learn without feeling like too much of a pressure or cause any issues. And then my DPS is like YOLO, just live or die.
No, I usually do a DPS first. That way, so that I can see the rest of the fight. Come on, spawn in already. Sorry, I'm finishing out my Wondrous Tales.
all
Waiting
good.
for this blasted thing to spawn. But no, like DPS is like, okay, especially melee DPS, you have to be in range of the boss. So it's like, okay, I have to be up close and personal, essentially kind of where a tank is. And also, I know a lot in certain fights, a lot of the DPS get prone to get targeted with certain mechanics.
You got to be given the boss
So it's like, all
colonoscopy.
right, I got to learn that.
Yeah, this expansion, I actually went all bard. Normally, I go first through with my paladin because that was originally my main when going through. And then for this one, I was like, you know what? Let's try it out. And it was kind of spicy. It was a little spicy, but it was nice. It was a nice challenge for me.
I think now that I have time to kind of like build my characters up and not have to worry about story, I can actually just like take my time now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe next expansion or like the big story updates and stuff like that, I might try and take a dancer through just because that seems to be the DPS I'm going to start with as dancer. So I might be able to kind of see where you guys are coming from because keep in mind, like, yeah, I have almost all my healers to max level, almost to 90 for Endwalker. I've only played fucking healers. I have not played anything else in this game, save for maybe a day or two on Dancer and a day or two on Dark Knight. So I really can't say if where the changes are for me and my style, my play
Oh, come
style
on, join me in the melee. Join me in the melee fun.
yet. No, I'm gonna sit there and throw chakrams. Screw you.
All right. And you too can experience animation lock.
uh,
Fucking Dragoon.
I'm already here with casting lock, dude.
Fucking Dragoon animation lock shit. Oh my god. Also,
Well,
can I burst this dude down?
is there anything else about dawntrail or 14 you guys would like to bring up?
No, because I don't want to spoil any much more. Because I will
No,
open my mouth like a dum dum. So
I will say this though. If you hate Luke Lamette and her voice actor, fuck you. Deal
yeah,
with it.
exactly. I'm with that. Fuck you.
La-
Because you know
Lama
what? She did fine. Fuck you.
Lamati, I will agree, can be annoying every so often, but no, like the voice actors did a good job, save for the audio quality issues. I mean, it's all been decent.
Well, if we want to bring politics in it, it's because that person is trans, and most of the reason the people that are nitpicking are the people that are transphobic. So, fuck them.
I didn't even know until somebody fucking posted about it. And
I
then
Yeah.
even then, I still didn't give a shit.
Yeah, same.
first
I thought
time
voice
first
is
time
fine.
hearing of it.
Yep, it's more so due to political reasons because all the and then they even
Oh, it
like put
always
all the
is.
yeah, they put all the faces like all the other voice actors from the other region was it region or whatever you would call the word, but like the German, and they lined them up and they put and it was you can tell it was they're just mad because it's not what they feel like is a female, whatever.
And change your fucking language settings then.
Learn to read subtitles, dickbag.
Like it's
All
a
right.
character in game. Who cares? Like it's a digital like thing. Like get over yourself. Turn off the voices. Mute it. Read it. Then like I don't know.
All right. Well, if we're closing up with 14, I would like to go to the hidden discussion for this stream. So if you guys don't know, one thing I want to do is always come up with like a hidden prompt that nobody else knows about but me, and just bring up something completely random to sideswipe the guests. So the hidden prompt is going to be, what is your secret pleasure type of game? And I'll start off with it first. I will say my secret pleasure kind of games like is I enjoy those idle type games like Cookie Clicker or like those restaurant management sims like Diner Dash or whatever it was, like that old Flash game. I don't know why I enjoy those. It's just something I can have off in the background when I'm playing something like stressful like Final Fantasy 14 and just go back to it after like 20 minutes and it still be doing something for me. I don't know why I enjoy those, but every once in a while I'll just load up a random one in my browser, or I'll download a random one on my phone and just play it for like 20 minutes and then not think about it for 3 weeks and then play it for another 20.
Mm, You go first, Beck.
I don't know. Is Pokemon technically considered a secret pleasure game anymore?
Like your actual Pokemon game, or Pokemon on the mobile, or what? Like.
Oh no, God no! I don't play Pokemon on the well.
Well,
I
Pokemon
kind of
Go.
do.
There's
I,
my mom when she said I play Pokemon. I'm like, oh yeah, and then she's like, yeah, I use my phone. I'm like, okay, never mind.
like that one.
That one, okay.
Just like even if it is a massive company like Pokemon, just something's like, this is kind of like I won't tell my friends I play this, but it's kind of like it's just something you can relax to, like something easy to de-stress with. That's not like your main games.
Probably. Actually, well, I don't really have one that's technically considered a secret pleasure. I mean, I used to relax with the Guitar Hero games, but that hasn't been prevalent in like over a decade, really. And yes, I know about Clone Hero for anybody in chat that does that. But
I try
oh,
setting that up.
Chuck, you haven't downloaded Fortnite yet because they have that Rock Band Guitar Hero
I
2
refuse.
T.
I
Oh,
refuse.
well,
Fortnite, no.
well, they actually made it where you can play with the actual instruments now too.
I absolutely refuse to play Fortnite. I refuse that. I have done my fair share of battle royales. I am sick and tired of that and Call of Duty's crap and all kinds of other stuff.
I feel it. I feel it. I'm kind of the same way as like with the whole I don't know, AFK games or whatever kind of things. Sometimes I'll download a game, but then I'll just like once it gets to a point where it's like trying to force me to like buy some like currency or whatever, I delete the app, like the game, and then just move on to another thing or something. Or I'll play like the restaurant diner. Like if it gets to a point where I get so high where I'm having a rough time to keep up on it and I need to like pay to like have more time. Nah, I just remove it. But other than that, like my other secret pleasure is like farm games like Stardew,
You were a
Coral
Farmville
Island.
player, weren't you?
No, actually, I hate that. I hate that so much. I guess it's more like I like just the different aspects of everything, like fighting, mining, fishing, all that stuff. And I love fishing in games. Like fishing games are pretty fun.
I'm gonna say, is Farmville even around anymore?
Apparently it is still because I
It-
got an ad on my damn phone for Farmville 3 or something,
oh,
whatever's newest number version of it. So
I can
yes.
only imagine how much of a freaking whale hunter that game is nowadays. Whale hunter in
Your
the
mic.
sense of
I think your mic's cutting
Your
out.
mic's cut out.
oh, good lord. Is it better now or?
There you go. Go
Okay.
ahead. Sorry.
So, what I was talking about is like I'm afraid of like how much of a whale hunter type game that is, and whale in the sense of looking for people who are going to spend money on it and just hooking them as hard as they can.
Exactly. And I never just liked Farmville in the first place. Like I tried, like back when it first originally happened on Facebook, whatever. I tried it for. I was like, this is lame. My mom loved the shit out of it. Of course, most older adults did. uh, so not for me. But like the dine dash stuff, that's kind of fun for me because I like to like kind of like quickly click and go boop 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 with my fingers, I guess, on the phone or screen or whatever. But yeah. I don't like to play those too much anymore either because I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, this wastes my brain fuel, and I don't want to use them. So I'll use it on other stuff.
You get that completely?
That's perfectly fair. I've also gotten to the point where I just stop buying like new games
Exactly.
anymore
Yep.
because a lot of them just aren't fun.
They're either not
Right?
fun, or not finished, or they're like half-ass done. And that's nothing against some of the devs. I understand some are like, hey, this is alpha, blah blah blah. But some of these games been in alpha and testing for a long time.
Well, what was it? Baldur's Gate 3 was in early access for.
That one, yes, and I played that since the beginning, but it was only for a couple of years. Let's give 7 Days to Die, for example, and now they're relaunching again their new whole thing. Like,
Oh, don't even get me on like Star Citizen. That
yeah,
game.
like there's some games where like they just ride that alpha for way too long.
I know if I said the things about Star Citizen that are on my head, I'd have one of my friends up my ass about it.
Careful, you might summon him.
Uh,
I know who you're talking about. You will summon him. He'll appear from the mists.
Card.
Wow.
So I asked in chat about what secret pleasure games they have. Chewy Gummy says Gambit games. Netlitter probably gotcha games. Don't go to my way to play them, and definitely don't spend money on them. But RNGs, but yeah, I'll agree. RNG can be fun. It's like opening up packs of trading cards. Like, oh, I don't play Magic anymore, but I'll pick up a pack of Magic cards every like 2 or 3 weeks just to open up a pack of cards.
I had a coworker. He was talking. We were talking about Magic the Gathering, and another coworker came over. He's like, "Yeah, I want to learn how to play Magic the Gathering." I'm like, "Let me just tell you this right now, don't." and here's the reason why. And I told him the reason why. I'm like, it's like to keep up if you want to play in the most current format, you got to throw money in it. And I'm like, and you got a 7-month-old at home. I'm pretty sure your wife would kill you.
I mean, he could dabble with, I guess, the digital version on the Steam or whatever.
Yeah,
But even then, yeah, it's like it's kind of rough because you gotta put money in to get those packs or any new stuff.
Yeah, I was big for like the gotcha games too for a while, but then it's like no.
Well,
yeah.
Well, if your friend wanted to get into Magic, the thing that I would tell him to look up is Pauper EDH. So EDH is a very fun format. It's a 100 card deck, and Pauper is, I think, you cannot have a card inside your deck that is over like $5.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
it can't be more than $5, or it can't be a higher rarity than rare, or something like that. It plays on very readily available cards that you can bulk buy from anywhere.
Yeah, I think they just call it Commander now, actually.
But so it was like the original name was like Twin Headed Dragon or something like that. Then the community name was EDH, and then when Wizards of the Coast were like, "Oh hey, we can make money off of this," they called it Commander.
Yeah.
So I know.
I think in normal formats now they actually they have what they still have Legacy, Modern, Standard,
Yeah.
and then I think they've been doing tournaments where it's specific Commander format that you can sign up for.
Yeah.
Too.
And that's with the Wizards and Friday Night Magic stuff. So that's their like sanctioned stuff. But I think common parlance is still it's either EDH or Commander is the popular names for stuff. You guys got anything else you want to add?
No, because I need to.
The only thing I want to add is, chop, come on, we got Endgame to finish.
Yeah, get to it.
I will have it finished by the end of tonight. How's that? That way I have it for tomorrow.
I will get on and hold you to it. Even if I have to go in and be your tank for that fucking trial.
Yeah, don't let the angry cinnamon toast crunch.
I will not anger the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I've been staring at that thing for an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm already gonna have nightmares of it.
I've been nice, right? So during this entire thing, I've been running through dungeons and trials and stuff like that. I've been nice. Normally, like if we weren't on here, I would be cussing at the tank for doing stupid things, or cussing at the healer for what are you doing? I know the big whole thing on Reddit was that I keep seeing like tales from the duty finder is that you pull you tank. Right, like I'm okay with that. Like you pull you tank, like sure you want to go ahead and run up forward. That's your choice, but don't expect me to. I mean, if you're not gonna bother to bring the enemies back to me, that's kind of your own fault.
Yep.
Kit, anything else you want to cover?
Nope, that's it.
All right.
I'm done.
All right. Would you guys like to say anything for final words before we get the hell out of here?
Thanks for watching. Thanks for being amazing. Thanks for chilling with us. If you're playing Dawntrail, enjoy it. If you already beaten it, still enjoy it. And that's all. That's all for now.
Beck,
and you can
yourself?
follow me at all my Kit the Traveler things. Blah blah blah. Kit the Traveler. That's all.
I will have those in the description of the YouTube video, and they have been scrolling this entire time on the stream.
Yeah.
Beck, you got anything else?
Come invade Dynamis. We need more people for PFs.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
Since I can't go to the rest of the worlds, other than Oceania, and also you may catch me in Duty Finder or Roulette, and I'll try not to judge too harshly. I won't say anything, but I'll have the judging eyes.
The judging eyes, the evil Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yeah, for some reason I just thought of like the picture when you're talking to the angry eyes. Beck was displeased by this choice of action that they do in some RPG games.
Yeah.
Oh my god, don't even get me started. I'm like, I get newbie tanks, but holy Jesus.
All right. Well, again, thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with us on this episode of Feature Fragment. It's absolutely amazing to have everybody here. We had a good time. So we are going to talk about when the next podcast is going to be. We don't have a date set, and we kind of have an idea of what game we're going to have. We're probably going to talk about that here soon to get everything set in stone. So, if you guys check out the YouTube channel Syllabus R2, there will be a video posted as soon as we have all of that information locked in. Other than that, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you guys for hanging out, and hopefully we didn't ruin dawntrail for you guys. Other than that, let's head to the ending and enjoy the last song. Later.